With all of the tedious ground school work out of the way, it's time to really start learning the Embraer 145 by beginning simulator training. Each of these full motion Level D simulators are valued at approximately $15 million. This one in particular is powered by a series of hydraulic actuators on the ground that are so realistic that you can actually feel the bumps in the pavement as you're taxiing to the runway on a taxiway. That allows us to recreate emergencies and procedures in the aircraft that really simulate what it would be like to fly in the airplane, and that's why they're so accurate. Our instructors on board have a series of touchscreen computers that allows them to control the simulation, set weather, set our position, and really create the entire situation that we're recreating in the simulator. As Level D simulators, these meet the highest certification standards of the FAA. They're so accurate, in fact, that when you're flying one for training, the FAA considers you to be building actual flight time in the aircraft. So beyond taking check rides for a type rating, we can log things like landing currency or instrument currency to be able to gain proficiency in the aircraft. Plus, we can actually use the flight time from flying in these simulators towards the aeronautical experience requirement for an airline transport pilot certificate. My simulator training was broken down into 3 sections, the first of which was 8 lessons of simulator training. It's your first time in the actual cockpit, dealing with emergencies, abnormals, normal procedures, and full flights between 2 destinations. The second was a maneuvers validation, which specifically tests your ability to follow through with abnormal procedures, emergency procedures, and a variety of different kinds of maneuvers that we perform in the aircraft. The final and third step of the simulator training process is your LOE check ride, which is actually your ATP check ride and a type rating check ride for the aircraft. It's essentially just a flight from A to B, testing your procedures, policies, and being able to follow through with a normal flight. One of the places we train is right here at the American Airlines Training Academy. It's a pretty cool experience to train here, especially since most pilots at Envoy end up participating in our no interview flow to American Airlines. We have an extremely close relationship with American Airlines because they both own Envoy Air and we fly exclusively under the American Eagle brand. Before starting simulator lessons, we bid for training slots in seniority order, and as the most junior person in my class, I received the last training slot between about 8:30 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. every single night. Each training lesson began with an hour-and-a-half pre-brief, 4 hours of flight training split between me and my simulator partner, and finally a short debrief at the end.
Minimums. 100.
At the very end of my training, I passed my final check ride to receive my restricted ATP certificate with a type rating to fly the Embraer 145 series of jets. And even after all that, I still haven't flown the actual airplane yet. That comes during something called IOE, or Initial Operating Experience, which I'll detail in my next video.